and welcome to the Weekly Mag. Today we are so lucky to have with us the Catalan conductor, composer and instrumentalist Salvador Brotons. Maestro, it's a pleasure to have you here with us today.
Very great pleasure for me to be here with you all.
Thank you for coming. Tell us a little bit what were you just playing before?
Well, I just played an very early piece that I wrote when I was 16 years old. It is called Elegy to the Death of Shostakovich, a composer that has been very much I had a lot of influence of his music, and I love him, and I love it still right now. And then he died in 1975, and I felt very deeply his death, and I wrote this little elegy for piano alone.
Piece. Amazing piece. Maybe we can listen a little bit more a bit later. Did you know that apart from his many projects, Salvador Brotons has been the conductor of the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra in the United States for no less than 30 years. Mm-hmm. We'll be discovering more things about him and listening to some bits of his compositions. And this is just only one of the many surprises we have for you prepared today. So let's begin.
Welcome to the Weekly Mag. Today we'll be having a musical show. We'll be having a chat with the conductor and composer Salvador Brotons. We'll discover the latest work of the singer-songwriter Lenais. And of course we'll be playing and laughing with Sergi Cervera on our Guess What quiz. All these as well as many more treats for you on the Weekly Mag, your TV show in English, hosted by Marcela Topor.
Welcome, and let's start another show full of surprises with words and facts with Mario Serra, Matthew Tree, and Hannah Becker. Welcome all. Thank you for coming.
Hello.
Well, we just listened to the beautiful music played by Maestro Salvador Brotons. We have, we're so lucky to have him today with us. And well, first we start with words and facts. And before that, let me ask you if you like our new piece of attrezzo here in the studio.
Oh, he's a nice guy. I saw him birth.
Yeah. Wow. Last week, Eduardo Juana came here and he produced, he created a live sculpture, and he was generous enough to offer it to us. So it's it is here with us. It will be here with us every day to improve our set.
A new friend.
Have you given him a name?
Well, not yet. We are thinking about it. Maybe have some ideas.
Head 1.
Okay.
Max Headroom.
Head 1.
Mini Marius.
The first.
No.
First
Mini
piece.
Umberto. He said something about Umberto.
Yeah, or Umberto 1 or something like that.
Yeah, maybe our viewers could.
The first piece of our art collection. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so let's go to the last guess word, Marius.
All right, let's remind it. And even if you know how to solve it, you have to shut up for some minutes, okay? Let's try. It was magnitude of a former shelter. 6 letters. Magnitude of a former shelter. It was a 6-letter word, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, don't say anything for the moment. Okay. I think you have also some surprises for us today.
Yeah, of course, we'll talk about idioms, but this week we have a surprise related to this book, and we'll have a little game, Dreaming Omelets.
And I suspect we'll have a great time. And talking of games and competitions, Hannah has been out onto the streets to ask about winning and losing, right?
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to see how competitive Catalans are, so I went out, asked them about winning, losing, got some good stories, and you can see a sneak peek right here.
Okay.
You win? Do you like celebrate? Yes. Yay! Yeah! Snip, snip! No. If you lose,
Oh, stop.
sometimes that, it's fine. Others is, oh no! No!
Okay, that looks promising. And now we're also going to reveal another link between the Catalan and English literatures with Matthew Tree. But you must almost, I don't know, Matthew, if you run out of subjects already? Or
Not quite. You still have
things to talk about.
Definitely. No, this is, in fact, it's an extraordinary project. This is we're going to talk today about an English publishing house that only publishes books originally written in Catalan. In other words, they only publish translations out of Catalan into English. And what's even stranger is that this publishing house has a Catalan name, Fum d'Estampa, which is the word for the dust given off by printing blocks when you finish the printing process, or that's how it used to be before digital printing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And which, by the way, in Britain, in the UK, everybody calls them fum. They don't even bother to say d'estampa, they just say those people in fum. So
Does that mean anything in English?
no, nothing at all.
But it's funny, maybe fummy.
Fummy. Something fummy.
Yeah.
So yeah, why did they decide just Catalan literature? It seems like a pretty small niche. Like, it seems like they're kind of limiting themselves.
Well, the guy who basically started or kick-started the project, Douglas Suttle, is an Englishman, and he knew about Catalan literature, and to use his idiomatic expression, he says it's a literature that punches well above its weight. And he said, look, if you take the history of Catalan literature, the classics, he said it's absolutely sensational, is the word he used, it's sensational, but he also likes contemporary Catalan literature, so, which is reflected in the titles that they publish. He also sees Catalan as a language which is under attack. Not in political terms, I don't think he thinks in political terms, but just in cultural terms, because it's living in a state in which another language is the dominant one. So that was all his reasons. But it's funny you mentioned that about it being only about Catalan, because I didn't know this until he told me this, but in the UK now, what they call niche publishers, that is to say publishers that just specialize in one single aspect of literature, are becoming more successful and better known and more popular. So he just thought, hey, there's no niche publisher in Catalan, so let's do it.
So we are exotic.
Yes, so we are exotic. It's an exotic niche.
And does it work? Does Fum d'Estampa work?
Yeah, amazingly. Amazingly, yes. And I say amazingly because they published the first two books in 2020. They were going to do a promotion, obviously, in Catalonia. They published the first two titles on the very same day that the Spanish government closed its borders. So they said, okay, fine, no problem. We've got 6 presentations lined up in the UK. They had bookshops which had actually bought quantities of chorizo to go with the books, because they were thinking Catalan, Spanish, it's all the same, chorizo,
That's what I think of when I think of Catalans, of course.
Sangria, they could have added sangria. But then there was the lockdown in Britain, so they couldn't do any presentations in Britain. So the whole operation went online, and even then,
They waving chorizo on the Zoom calls or something.
Yeah, they could show the chorizo. But even then, they made a small profit in 2020 with their titles.
Excellent. That's great news. Okay, and who translates these works?
Well, first of all, there's the team. There's 3 people. It's Douglas Suttle, it's his partner Berta Rius, who does most of the online promotion. And then there's a woman called Alice Banks, who's English, and she works for something called the European Literature Network, which is trying to promote European literature in the UK, because as we all know, in the UK, only 3% of translations are among the works of fiction published. So 3% of everything published is a translation. So getting European literature into the UK is something quite special. They're all, and I say this coming from, because I have the age that I do, they're all in their early 30s, which is fabulous,
It's good.
I guess, yeah, but Hannah, for me, it's so young now. You know what I mean? And so they're really enthusiastic about what they do. And they have translators, for example, like Louise Johnson here, who's done their latest book. This is a typical example of what they do. They're especially proud of the fact that their books have these.
A little flap.
A little flap.
Love a flap.
Because that is not typical in British publishing. British books, especially if they're soft cover, normally never have a flap, whereas here it's quite common. So they deliberately copied the style of publishing that's
I also love
used
the
here.
design on the cover, and I see some other ones
Yeah.
behind
there's
you,
some
like
others
the
here.
Very similar.
geometric kind of.
Yeah, they're beautifully designed,
Beautiful,
beautifully published. And you've got everything from Joan Maragall at the start of the last century, right through to Raúl Garagaset, for example, who's a writer who's just, I suppose you could call him an emerging writer. In his early 40s.
Ancient.
Just, I guess, spring chicken, depending on where you're sitting.
Well, in fact, he's 41, I think.
41?
Yeah.
Oh, just over the age.
So how much do they publish, and does anybody in the UK notice?
As they're a niche publisher, Marcella. 6 titles a year. And
That's good.
They want to get up to 12, but at the moment they're doing 6 titles a year. They have a full catalogue for 2022. And they've had loads of good reactions from prestigious literary blogs, which are a big deal in the UK because people take them as seriously as they do the Times Literary Supplement, for example. Also newspapers, for example, the Irish Times, they published Narcís Ullier's The Madness, La Bogeria, which is a 19th century Catalan classic. And it was discovered by the Irish Times for the first time. It was described as a masterpiece. Jordi Llavina's London Under Snow, would be the English title, was widely praised, as was this, their latest one, by Llorenç Villalonga, a Majorcan writer from what, middle of the last century, more or less, would be about right.
Yeah.
But this is not his most famous book, by any means.
No, it's Bearn, the most famous.
But there's a blog called The Modern Novel in the UK, which recommended this as one of the best dystopian novels they'd ever read. It's
Okay, looks good. What's next for them?
They're going to bring out a book, I confess an interest, by an old friend of mine, Jordi Cussà, which is his first book that he published. It's now become a kind of underground classic, which is Cavalls Salvatges, Wild Horses. That's coming out in 2022, would be the... They're also going to offer titles to students of English at discounts and to English schools at discounts, and that's another project that they have for 2022. So
Excellent, looks good.
the idea is to get more money to publish more titles as they move along.
Maybe they can come to the show, right? We could interview them because it seems really interesting. What
I'm
they do.
sure they would love to come to the show. Yeah, I've never met them personally, or only once, very briefly, I met Berta because she brought me these books. But on the phone, they sound very friendly indeed. So,
And if they come, they could come with no chorizo, but fuet.
Fuet, yeah.
Some fuet.
They know that it should be fuet.
They know the difference, right?
Yeah, they know the difference. Yeah.
Good idea, Marius, indeed. I like that. And it is in really an unusual publishing company. Good luck to them. And now we'll change the subject because we are sticking to words and we want to discover the origins of and some fascinating facts about these English expressions with Marius Serra. Please have a look.
My favorite idiom it's don't burn bridges. That it's because in a work you want to come back. You cannot have a bad behavior or do bad things because you can close a window that maybe it's very good for you, no?
I have a German idiom, du bist schwer auf Draht. You are very heavy on wire. That means you are very intelligent. You have intellectual prosperity.
Okay.
Nice ones.
Oh, burning bridges there. This is the first one. Don't burn bridges, of course. It means don't cut off all means of escape, right? But in its origin, it was not with bridges, but with boats. It has a Roman origin. And if you go there by crossing a river, your general said, we'll burn our boats not to retreat, right? This is the same idea, but with bridges, it seems more contemporary. But maybe you know another idiom with bridges or something? Do you use
Cross
it?
that bridge when I
Yeah.
come to it. I use that all the time.
Cross that bridge when?
I'll cross that bridge when I come to it.
So
or we'll
not
cross
now.
that bridge when we come to it.
Wait and see, and
Exactly.
we'll do
In
that.
other words, to do one thing at a time.
That's it.
It's basically my motto in life.
No multitasking. Just
Just so.
by
crossing
About,
subsequent bridges.
That's water under the bridge.
Yeah.
Water under the bridge.
Another song.
It means that it's a problem that
It's in the past. Yeah.
Exactly, that's solved, right?
Oh, that's
like
nice.
that.
So bridges are quite productive.
Yeah, looks like it.
Okay. And
Okay, what else do we have?
The German
You are
one.
very heavy on wire. That's
Yeah.
that's a nice one. Meaning very intelligent
yeah,
or
but
focused.
in German, because in
German.
English
It doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean
I mean,
anything.
no idioms mean anything. I mean, isn't that kind of the point? But it's like when you hear it translated, it sounds
Yeah,
extra weird.
like surrealistic.
Yeah.
So that this you are very heavy on wire. That it's I don't know, like
I was thinking of like a bird, like
Oh.
sitting on a telephone wire.
Okay.
It's like, I don't know, maybe the bird needs a
but
diet
maybe
or something.
birds are
but-
intelligent.
I was thinking
to-
the image was of someone with lots of wires in his head.
So
Robot people.
Okay.
well, I see you are in the mood. I want it.
Yeah, tell
so
us, tell us.
let's play a little. I've just recovered this book.
I love this book.
Yeah, last year we went over it.
We played, yeah.
To Dream Omelets, which just is the same operation that this German idiom. It's translating literally from Catalan into English, Somiar truites, to dream omelets. So I'll give you 10 of this book so that you both try, because you are English speakers, try to convey it into an English idiom, right?
Okay, like give you the English equivalent.
That's it. Because first one, flowers and violets.
Okay, I would say when they say in Catalan, not everything is flowers and violets. In other words, not
Flors y
everything is
violes.
perfect. I would say I never promised you a rose garden.
Oh,
Wow.
that's a song.
Be-
I never
Yeah,
promised you a
but
rose. Well,
it's
I
an
don't
expression too. I never promised you a rose garden. In other words,
Never heard that one.
Or maybe it's not everything is fun and games.
Yeah, it's not all fun and
Yeah.
games.
Yeah,
that's
that's
a good
it.
one.
Also?
yeah,
Nice.
not everything is beer and Skittles.
Beer and
Oh,
Skittles.
nice.
Beer and Skittles.
Why not?
I just remembered that. Not everything is beer.
Yeah, why not?
One beer,
Exactly.
Skittles, and omelets.
Another one.
Okay.
Hungry.
To give pumpkin.
To give pumpkin.
That's anyone has given pumpkin to you?
And it doesn't have anything to do
Carabasha.
with Halloween.
know.
It's not for Halloween, right?
Yeah, pumpkin.
Reject you.
Reject.
Ignore you.
Ignore. Oh, yeah. All the time.
Like when you have a date and he or she doesn't show up, right?
That's
Oh, when you get stood up.
it. Yeah.
You get
Yeah.
stood up, or when you actually approach somebody, as I remember once, one terrible birthday, and she just says, no. How do you say that in English?
Oh my
To
God.
give someone the...
The brush off?
The brush off.
The brush
maybe.
Yeah.
Brush off.
The brush off.
That's it.
Oh, yeah.
That's terrible.
It
Third
felt,
one.
felt worse.
O day passes, year passes.
What?
Dia passa, any empeny.
That's a difficult one,
Yeah.
I think.
A day.
You understand the idea?
Like,
no. You slow. You have to work slow but sure.
Yeah.
So-
slowly but
Take
surely.
one thing at a time or
One thing at a time.
One step at a
Take
time.
it-
Day-to-day basis.
When you take the bridge, you pass
Yeah.
it. When you find the bridge.
Cross that bridge. when you
Okay,
get there.
and another one more positive. I had the torches. I usually say that. Endavant les atxes.
Endavant les atxes.
Had the
Go for it. Let's go for it.
torches. Yes, we can.
Yeah. Sí, se puede. What we say?
Upwards and onwards.
Oh, yeah, onwards and upwards.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
To
Okay,
infinity and beyond.
okay. The fifth one. Let's see. It's late and it wants to rain. tard i vol ploure.
It's late and it wants to rain. That seems like
It's
you're trying
like
to
it's
kick someone
late,
out of your
right?
house.
It's late and yeah.
It means it's late. Oh, it's too late.
I feel like it's like
we
when
are in a
someone's
hurry.
overstaying their welcome at your
You
house.
say when
right?
you say, well, come on,
Yeah.
we'll falling behind. So let's go.
Okay. When you're trying to hurry someone up,
That's
hurry
it.
up.
Maybe
Hurry up,
it will rain. So that's a menace.
We haven't
right?
got all day.
Yeah, we haven't. Yeah.
Okay.
all day.
The sixth, the procession goes by inside. La processó va per dintre.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
It's like, I don't know,
all
something
brand new
like
for you.
suffer in silence.
That's it.
Suffer in silence.
That's it.
Just so.
Yep.
That's exactly
With
it.
hemorrhoids, for instance, you suffer in silence.
Well, I didn't think of that, but now that you mention it.
Yeah, I'd like to see us coming up with the equivalents in Romanian. I mean, that is amazing to
We could-
suffer in silence.
We could do that in another program. Yeah.
The seventh, everything is oil in a lamp.
Oil in a lamp.
Oli en un
Hanukkah?
llum.
What's going on?
Yeah, it's incredibly easy. It's
Piece of cake.
piece of
Piece
cake.
of cake.
It
Yes.
goes smoothly.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah,
Oil
the
in a
idea of
lamp.
oil, right?
Oil in a
Yeah.
lamp. I'm gonna start saying that one.
Another one which is very Catalan as well. What peppers? Quins pebrots.
What a cheek.
Isn't that like?
Oh,
that,
have some guts.
Some guy. That's
some
it.
You got chutzpah.
Pardon?
Chutzpah.
What's that?
That's like in
Yeah.
Yiddish.
What language
Yes,
is
a
it?
Yiddish
Yiddish?
expression.
Ah, okay.
Yiddish? Oh.
Yeah, or yeah. You got chutzpah. You got
Oh,
Yeah.
never heard of that before.
like energy. Like Right?
Okay,
Is that?
there are two left. Just two left. You are doing very well, all three of you. Paying Sant Peter sings. Pagant Sant Pere canta.
The customer is always right.
Well, that's the
Yeah?
idea. That's the idea. The customer.
Man talks.
Oh. As
Money
well.
talks.
Money talks.
That's genuine. It's very genuine. Everyone has a prize.
Yeah.
Everyone has a price.
Okay.
Yeah, would be.
Good
and
one.
the last one, which could be, I chose that to end. The broccoli is finished.
Sacabata
They say.
broccoli.
Sacabata broccoli.
The broccoli is
It's
finished.
over, I would
Yeah.
say, but the authors say exactly the broccoli is finished. Any idiom?
I keep thinking of the Bob Dylan song, It's All Over Now, Baby Blue. There must be something in English for that.
Sacabata broccoli. I mean, it's like we're done. I don't know.
Enough is
We're done,
enough.
Yeah,
it's
enough.
over.
Game
Enough is
over.
enough.
Game over.
Game
Game
over.
over. Game over.
Game over.
Game over.
Game over. Enough is a little different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Enough is enough, meaning, hey, stop.
stop.
Yeah.
I had enough
Yeah.
of that thing, right? Okay.
Very interesting. It's a very nice exercise.
Yeah.
Playing with this idea of metaphors, right? That every single language has its own tradition, and when you just try to translate like that German guy, it's like surrealistic thing.
Yeah.
I do that into Spanish and Catalan. I
Hey,
translate
all
English
the
phrases. I'm like,
time.
yeah, that
Funny.
sounds fun.
And it's a great book. I really recommend
And in
it.
Very
fact,
funny.
Okay, the broccoli is over, or should I say that we need to move on to the next segment of the
That's it.
show? Because it's time for Hannah's report, winning and losing. So Hannah, what made you choose this particular topic?
Well, I'm an American. We're known for being very competitive, and I also am a pretty competitive person. So I thought, it'd be fun to go to. I went to Castelldefels.
Castelldefels.
Yeah,
okay.
beautiful little town, and I thought it'd be fun to see if people would get excited with me and be competitive with me.
Okay, did anyone fight about any award or something?
No, we did do some rock paper scissors. You saw in the teaser, and we got excited. But I got some great stories from everybody.
So did you have any ideas previously about the Catalans' sense of competitivity?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you think they're famous for Barca having a great soccer team, but I mean, kind of how things are going now, not sure if competitive is the right
Is
word.
the word.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what you mean, but maybe we'll get an idea after watching the video.
Yeah, sure. Let's check it
Okay.
out.
Do you smell that? Ah, smells like the sweet scent of victory. Oh, no, I think it's actually just this flower. Oh God. Oh, that's terrible. Do you smell that? It smells like the putrid scent of defeat. Ugh. Oh, wait, no, it's just this garbage can. Well, I'm here in Casa de Falls to talk to some people about winning and losing. So let's go. Are you guys competitive bikers?
We like push each other harder just to see who cracks first.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Did you ever do any competitive drinking back in your younger days?
Yeah, beer pong. I was the master of it.
The more you drink, the better you get, or the better you think you get.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, victory!
I support a team called Ajax, Champions League. They lost against Tottenham.
Did you guys cry?
Yeah, we all cried.
Do you have a favorite like goal celebration?
Ronaldo just jump and go like that, you know?
Yes.
Snip, 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 snip.
I had a partner in judo that when he knew that he was losing the match, he said, "Oh, stop my shoulder, oh my God, it's broken." And it wasn't really broken.
What about, do you know anyone who's like a bad winner who like celebrates too much when they win or?
Yeah, my brother, whenever he won, he just started like screaming in my face and like, "I won, you're a fucking loser."
I conquer this land in the name of the Weekly Mag. Victory is ours. Have you lost something important?
My dad and I were about to adopt a kitty. The cat was really small. It wasn't like in that typical box. Started running all over the street. So we
lost the cat forever?
Yeah. It was so sad. So sad.
Did you get another cat?
Yeah, we did. When I raise the high mountain, no, never, no more.
You could win anything in the world. What would you like to win?
Like a lottery? Like the love lottery, you know, like finding someone, yeah, like a perfect person for you. I would like to win.
Aww. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, you won. That was it. Back when they built this castle, winning or losing was a matter of life or death. But now people only care about more trivial things like winning a soccer match or winning the lottery or something. But you know what? I'm a real winner, so I'm gonna conquer this castle. Let's do it. Let me in! I'm a conqueror! I'm gonna win! You know what? Conquering's a lot easier in the 21st century. All you need is the right key.
So, did you manage to enter the castle?
Just in my mind, I think.
It was your house key.
Yeah. It was the camera guy's keys. Yeah, sorry. TV magic ruined for everybody. But no, it was fun. It was fun to imagine that I was some kind of...
Very interesting and amusing. And I don't know if this video changed the way you see Catalan people.
I mean, I think every time I learn new stuff about people, but no, yeah, I got to talk to I just always get to talk to so many nice people.
Are they competitive or not?
Yeah, I mean, there were those guys talking about fighting with their brothers and their teammates and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty much standard. I don't think there was anything out of the ordinary that I wasn't expecting.
Okay, right. So the Americans are more competitive, you think?
I think so, but the one American guy we talked to was like the most chill guy. The biker guy. He was like, yeah, I don't really care. I just like want to be competitive with myself. Right, so that's always nice. I don't know, what about you guys? Are you competitive people? Do you like to win?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When I play. I am a player, so when I play, I think you have to compete when you play. But for me, this is the idea of competition, not live.
Yeah.
But games with rules, so that you can live more quiet.
Are you that guy like playing Monopoly? Like, no, you can't do that.
Scrabble.
You're with the dictionary, like, I don't think that's with words. Yeah. I see it. I believe it. But in life, you're more chill.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's a good way to be. What about you, Matthew?
I am absolutely I am not competitive at all, to the extent that in fact, I can't understand competitive sports or competitive games of any kind. I look at people watching football or any other sport. It's absolutely the same to me. And I cannot understand why they find it interesting that one group should win over the other.
Ball.
Well, no, that's quite... I mean, that can be interesting to watch because it's skillful and so forth. But it's completely indifferent to me which side wins.
Yeah.
The only exception I would make are political elections, because that matters, you know, that affects me, even though
Sports of the mind.
But it's crazy because I can't vote anywhere. I can't vote in Britain, I can't vote here, I can't vote anywhere.
Maybe that's why you like it so much, because it's...
it is a bit like watching,
watching
a football match, you know.
You're like, I can't play, but I know what's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
You're the guy on the sideline like, come on, pass the ball.
But I really have a sort of thing about it, because almost everybody I know is into some kind of competitive hobby or sport, and I just can't get in there. I don't.
Yeah.
And after that report about winning and losing, it's time for the solution to the guessword.
We're all gonna lose.
Matthew mentioned the word that is the solution without knowing it. When he said to that extent, because it was magnitude of a former shelter. Extend, so extent.
Oh my God.
Right.
It was a former shelter, and it was a magnitude and extent.
That's so good. That's such a good
really.
one.
I'm so
Really
sorry.
smart.
It
Really
also
smart.
drives you crazy, but I mean...
I laugh.
I think Marius is also improving. I mean, each time he just overcomes. How do you say overcome oneself? He just
exceeds his
exceeds himself.
Yeah, exceeds
Right?
himself,
Yeah, each time you exceed yourself, Marius.
exceed a
Talking about
former
competition.
I'll try not to burn bridges.
Yeah.
Anytime.
That would be
the
good.
new one.
Yes.
I'll give you a new guess word, and it's pay attention to that. A woman of noble birth in Amsterdam. 7 letters. A woman of noble birth in Amsterdam. 7 letters.
Okay, that's our guess word for next week. You can try and crack it now or wait until next week. That's when Marius will give the solution, and in the meantime you can post your guess word on our social media profiles. Well, and just before we go, let me remind you that today we have a really special guest in our program, Maestro Salvador Brotons, who is already waiting for us at the piano. I'll be with you in a moment, Maestro. Well, I hope you can stay and listen to him playing. Okay, and this is all for today for Words and Facts. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much, Matthew, Marius, and Hannah. Take care. We've got plenty more things on today's show: interviews, music, games, reports, tips, and of course, our book and film recommendations, which we'll see right now. 2 suggestions to keep your English up and running with our librarian Salvador Faura from the Xarxa de Bibliotecas Municipals of the Diputació de Barcelona, and Miquel López from Televisió de Badalona. Check them out.
Joan Esbou's Headhunters is a thriller, and actually the story of a man called Roger Brown, whose job is to find the best men for the best positions in the best companies. His wife, who owns an art gallery, and himself live a life in which spending money is the usual, which means that they find the opportunity to earn a lot when they find that one of the interviewees has got a Rubens, a painting that got lost after the Second World War. The worst thing that Brown could have done is to enter the room where this Rubens was hidden. I won't tell you why. You have to read the book and discover.
The best comedy of all time. That's what 253 critics from 52 countries consider the movie Some Like It Hot to be. Well, this is no surprise because its director is none other than Billy Wilder, the man who Spanish director Fernando Trueba called God. Well, if not a god, Wilder was certainly a master when it came to telling stories like this one, with his usual wit and sarcasm. He knows how to make audiences empathize with these 2 musicians in drag and the lady, the chorus lady, who mistakes them for two distressed ladies. They are all magnificent in this movie, although, as the Joe E. Brown character says in one of the best final sentences in film history, nobody's perfect.
Today we'll be having a chat with a Catalan musician who has had a stunningly successful career. Stick around for our interview with Salvador Brotons.
Oksana Stanovkina has been in love with Barcelona since the very first time she visited it. She's been living there for the last 2 years and she's taken around 20,000 photos of the city. And with her, we visited one of her favorite spots, Barcelona's Gothic Quarter. Please have a look.
Hi, my name is Oksana Stanovkina. I'm from Russia, and this is the Gothic Quarter of Barcelona. The minute I stepped off the airplane, I fell in love with this city. I felt this, the sea breeze come into the airplane, and I felt, okay, this is my home. This is it. There it is. You arrived home finally. It's a city that has everything for everyone, literally. There's so much to discover around every corner. It's like hidden gems all over the city, and you just walk as if you're in a museum, an open-air museum, and you just can't stop taking pictures. Everything just breathes history at you. So the city is like magic turned into stone. Like everything frozen in architecture. I don't know, the soul of the city reflected in the architecture, and it's slowly shifting and moving and like looking at you from every corner. I take a lot of pictures. Seriously, I have like 20,000 pictures of Barcelona alone, and it's really hard to choose some to, post on my Instagram account. The best areas to see that is probably the Gothic Quarter and El Born and this really ancient area of Barcelona. This mural is called The World Starts With Every Kiss, and this is important. This is such a great notion. There's a quote near the mural that says, "The echo of a kiss lasts longer than that of a cannon." And this is a really beautiful notion in itself. The author asked the local population to send in some photos about what they feel like the freedom is for them. It promotes love and acceptance and freedom. So I guess this is what Barcelona is for me. This mural represents it quite eloquently. There's a really beautiful palace here called Balmesiana behind that wall. It's just a really, one of those hidden gems in Barcelona that you don't, that's kind of off the beaten tourist track. It's one of those places that suddenly surprises you because you don't expect to see that. Just turning the corner and suddenly there's this beauty just looking at you, and you freeze in awe because it's really spectacular. And the cathedral, it's really beautiful. Catalan Gothic architecture, which just, you just can't not pause and look at it in complete, fascination. I never used to have a notion of home, like a concept of home, because I had to move a lot as a child. We moved from one country to another, one city to another, and I just never had the place that I wanted to come back to, And here, I finally have that feeling. I finally understand that there could be a place where every single thing calls upon you to stay. I actually can see myself living here for a long time. Maybe not like forever, but I feel like this is a place that I would want to come back to.
Today's guest defines himself as a composer, conductor, and flautist, but in fact the flute came first. He wrote his first composition at the age of 14, and then as part of a natural process, he became a conductor. Nowadays, he is the director of the Banda Municipal de Barcelona and the conductor of the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra in the United States, an orchestra which he has led for 30 years. Maestro Salvador Brotons, welcome to the Weekly Mag. A pleasure.
Thank you very much.
So, as we were just saying, last year you received a Lifetime Achievement Award for leading the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra in the state of Washington, which you led for 30 years. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
What has this award meant for you?
It meant a lot because it's an award that the community gives to the significant people. And this orchestra is the orchestra that I have in my heart because 30 years with an orchestra for a conductor is a lot. And they love me very much, and I love them very much. And the community is phenomenal. It's the one, when you make roots in a community in America, it's absolutely forever. It's fantastic. Here in Europe, it's a little more difficult to make roots because the audience doesn't lead them that much a show. Over there, if the community loves you, don't worry about it because you're going to have a award for all your life.
Actually, you said that the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra is the orchestra of your life.
It is, definitely. 30 years is a lot, and I've done great progress. We started with an orchestra that was not fantastic, and now it's a full-time orchestra making fantastic programs, and I've been able to conduct Mahler symphonies, Shostakovich symphonies, all the great repertory, and I'm very happy with them.
I guess you are like family now.
It's absolutely my family. It's like going home. Every time I'm going to Vancouver, it's coming back home.
Do you go back to Vancouver often? I guess now with the pandemic, things have changed.
Oh, the pandemic has been awful. It's been awful. Since last February 2020, I haven't been able to go. I'm looking forward that now this coming month of May, I will be able to come back and hopefully to stay for the whole next year, next season. It has been a very disappointing moment because without traveling, without having contact with the musicians, the audience, it's a very, very frustrating for a conductor.
Of course.
But I'm looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm. First of all, Maestro, how did you get to be the conductor of this great orchestra? How did you go to the United States in the first place?
First of all, I went to the States. It was at that time I was in Barcelona playing flute in the Barcelona Orchestra and also the Liceu Symphony Orchestra. So I was principal flutist. And I was ending all my career here, and I said, fine, I said to my wife, should we try something else? And we decided to go to America to do our doctorate, master and doctorate. And after that, saying, okay, should we come back to Barcelona or stay there working, trying to work? And I got the job of the Portland State University Orchestra as a conductor.
Right.
And then 2 years later, I got the job of the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra. And I stayed there for 10 years. Then we moved back to Barcelona because I got a job here also with the Sinfònica of Vallès and several other things, and also the Sinfònica of the Balearic Orchestra. And fine, and now I live here, but I have a foot in America, and that's very important.
What does conducting involve? Because for the non-musical people, I mean, for most people, I mean, this is like you see a person who waves their arms about, right? But of course, it is much more than that. What does it involve, conducting?
Oh, it involves like a preparation. First of all, deeply study the score to know what you want to do, to deal with musicians, to deal with getting the message to the audience. First of all, to the musicians, then to the audience, and then you need to really know the score very well. I love to conduct from memory. That in this aspect, you need to study much more and to communicate with your eyes to the musicians, with your gestures, and to know exactly what you want to do in each piece, to know a very good knowledge of the music history, because every period, every style has different approaches. Believe me, it needs to have all your life dedicated to music to become a conductor, a good conductor, a respected conductor. And also, if you have played an instrument, you have composed, it gives you a lot of good confidence to be in front of an orchestra of great musicians that will be very demanding to you.
Mm-hmm. Let's go back and talk about composing. Mm-hmm. You said you composed your first piece when you were just 14 years old.
Yes.
And since then you've composed a lot. I think, more than 150 pieces, if I'm correct.
Quite a lot, yes.
I would like to ask you if you could play for us a little bit more of the piece that you heard at the beginning, please.
Okay, yes, I play the piano, but I do not consider myself a pianist, but I could play, for instance, a nocturne that I composed in 2009. It was because of the anniversary of Chopin, and the Polish consulate of Barcelona commissioned me to write a nocturne, and I wrote 3 nocturnes. I can show you a little about the second one.
Let's listen to it.
Goes away. Thank you very much.
You're also a teacher at the SMUC, a Scuola Superior de Música de Catalunya, where you teach conducting and compositions.
Yes.
So what do you think of the conductors of the future? And how has this job of conducting evolved in time?
Fine, they need to be very much prepared because there's a lot of competition nowadays.
Really? Yeah. Much more than before.
Almost everybody wants to be a conductor.
Really?
And some of them are not prepared yet, because to become a conductor, you need to have a very good preparation, not only to have been able to play several instruments well, but also to have a very good knowledge of orchestration, the orchestra, to be a very good psychologist, to be a musician, and it's a long-term job. It takes a little time, and they will have a difficult time because, as I said, everybody wants to become a conductor. They think it's easy, all that, and they love the power, some of them, of being a conductor. But they need to have a very good knowledge of the styles, and the relationship with and to, of course, to communicate with your audience. You need to have a style that really gets the message from the composer to the audience in a very powerful manner. Mm-hmm. And it's difficult, but we are trying to encourage people, and I always said that the greatest professor is the one that really takes a good student to become very excited making music, and that's you need to motivate them as a professor.
Now that you mentioned motivation, how do we motivate young people to become more interested in classical music, to listen to more classical music?
Fine, it's a matter of the school to go to the concerts, to give them family concerts, not to give them right away a big symphony, but to give some good examples. The orchestra is very powerful. It has so many colors. And I remember when I was little, I was going to the Palau de la Música because my father was playing in the orchestra, and I got absolutely enthusiastic about when I got a piece that I really love. I wanted to listen 3 or 4 or 5 more times, because the music gets to you, and it's a matter of exposing to the child to the music and explaining a little the meaning and getting excited. You need to provoke that. You need the school should go to Palau de la Música or the auditorium anytime or listen to concerts, and the teachers has to be very enthusiastic.
Okay. In your case, you had a lot of contact with music since a very young age. Your father was a musician. Your grandfather also played the flute, I think, right?
Yeah.
And I know that your daughter is very artistic as well, your wife as well.
My wife also has been a flutist, and now she is the academic conductor of the MOOC.
So you continue this musical tradition, which was
Fine. Music is something you need to live at home, especially, and the earliest ages, the better. Because I remember when I was little, my father said, "Okay, let's play." He accompanied on the piano. I was playing flute, and I enjoy so much making music at home, and all, I became very enthusiastic about the art of music.
Salvador, just before we go to the second part of this interview, are you composing anything at the moment, and can you play a little bit for us?
I just finishing a mass for peace. It's a commission of El Cor Canta. It should be premiered next year, and I just I'm about to finish the piece. I am retouching it's a 30-minute piece for orchestra, chorus, soprano soloist. It's a big one that I can show you a little the very beginning.
Let's listen to just a little bit of it.
Okay, very good. Let's see. Because this is for orchestra, and I am trying to read this very small part of piano they have here. Is the beginning of a Kyrie, which is very deeply felt to start a mass.
Amazing, this Mass for Peace. Thank you so much, Maestro. We'll continue this chat in a moment, but first let's watch a language tip with our teacher, Mark Broderick.
Hi, so those of you who have been driving cars for a very long time will know that the chances are at some stage you might have some sort of a breakdown or a mechanical problem with the car. Well, we're here to provide some vocabulary to help you with this little problem that you might have. The first one, of course, is a breakdown. A breakdown in any ways means that the car just stops working, okay? And you really don't know what's going on. So what do? You call roadside assistance. And those guys come along, either tow your car away or they will help you out on the spot. Now, simply, sometimes your car could just stall, okay? And stall literally means that you might be going up a hill and hit the accelerator or the gas a little bit too hard and the engine just conks out. Or indeed, you might be just changing the gears and flip from one gear to the other and the engine conks out. It's okay. Just put the key in the ignition again and start the car. Now, another thing that might happen when you're driving, of course, is that you have a flat tire. The tire, of course, might have suffered some sort of a puncture where all of the air has gone out. And what are you left with? Well, a flat tire. If you do have a flat tire, don't fret. This is something that you can deal with yourself. If you have a spare tire in the boot or the trunk of the car, okay? And of course, you're going to need a couple of other tools in order to put on the spare tire. You're going to need a wrench. A wrench is a metal thing that you use to move the nuts and bolts so that you can take off the flat tire and put on the spare tire. But hold on a minute. You need one more tool in order to lift the car up. And that, of course, is a jack. A jack you put under the chassis of the car, you pump it hard, the car lifts, and voila, you can change the tire. So there you go. A couple of useful words to do with mechanics, cars, and breakdowns.
It hurts so good to love you. I'm sitting here.
And after the break, we'll be talking to and discovering the music of a singer and composer from Balaguer, Lenaïs.
Nothing says enough, no, maybe I'm mad.
And we are back with our chat with Salvador Brotons about his many experiences as a composer, instrumentalist, and also an internationally known conductor. And now let's bring in our contributor, Carlota Bonet. Hello, Carlota, welcome back.
Hello, how are you?
Great. Great.
Hello,
We're really pleased
hello.
to have Maestro Brotons with us today.
Nice to be here with you all.
Okay, Carlota, I think you've brought some questions with, as well as some information about orchestra conductors, right?
Yes, sure. Because for us, the figure of a composer, of the maestro, is a very romanticized. And we would like today to talk about, you know, what's the life of a composer like?
Yeah.
And for what I understand, it's quite nomadic. They travel a lot. And, you know, the life of a major conductor, it's not only dedicated to one orchestra, but normally they have more than one. And they never spend a lot of time in one city. Sometimes, even if you are the major conductor in a big orchestra, you only stay there in that city 8 to 12 weeks. How have you balanced this life of internationality, and if you manage to make Barcelona your home base?
Fine, it's complicated because conductors, we have usually one orchestra or one bass orchestra, and then we guest conduct several other orchestras during the year, and usually it's a 1 week deal. Sometimes I have 1 week in one city and 1 week in another city in another part of the world, 1 day to travel only, and different repertory. Yeah, it's a very, depends of periods. Some periods, I don't know why, but you have a lot of work as conductor, and some periods you don't have not as many as, for instance, this year or the coronavirus. But it's a very stressful life, definitely. But you need to compensate that, and it's wonderful to have a base place like Barcelona, and when you have a precision teaching, and if you have sometimes that you have a lot of conducting, then you say to the students, okay, I'll be 1 month away, but when I'll be back, we'll compensate all that. It's stressful, but on the other hand, very exciting because we love what we all are doing.
Of course, I mean, it gives you the possibility of knowing many places, but you consider yourself to live in Barcelona.
That's where I live right now, but
Yes.
you never know what's going to happen within 2 years.
Yes.
Maybe if they offer me a position in another place of the world,
You live.
I will live, definitely.
Actually, you lived in the United States for quite a long time,
We
right?
lived 13 years in the United States, yeah, quite a lot. 2 years in Tallahassee, Florida, and then 10 years, almost 11, at Portland, Oregon. That's why I have my orchestra in Vancouver, Washington, which is adjacent to Portland, Oregon.
Yes.
Wow.
Because we were asking that because there are other composers like this, the very famous Kazushi Ono, the conductor of the OBC that
Yes.
Marcella interviewed in a
Yes.
wonderful interview a few
Yes.
years ago.
Here on the
in
Weekly
this-
Mag, right?
Yes. And in this interview, precisely, he explained that he accepted to become conductor of the OBC because, not only because he saw potential in the orchestra, obviously he liked it, but because he found in Barcelona a place that he connected very much. First of all, because of he found this balance between nature, Montserrat, the Mediterranean Sea, apparently he loved it, and culture, which, you know, the Auditori, the Palau de la Música, but also the architecture of Gaudí. So my question, I guess, is have you found another place in the world apart from Barcelona, maybe Washington, I don't know, Vancouver, where you felt that somehow this place inspired you and you found there like a special, symphony with that place?
Fine, believe me, I every time I go to Portland and Vancouver, I feel at home because it's my home. I've been living there for several years. People love me very much. I mean, a conductor, feels well wherever is respected and feel love. And it doesn't matter that much about if it's the best place to live in the earth. Barcelona is a fantastic place. Everybody loves Barcelona because the climate, the food, everything, you name it. But believe me, wherever you find a good job and wherever you feel you are respected and loved, you will feel very, very much at home. And that's what you are going to move, definitely.
Of course, because your passion is what fulfills you, and then to be able to put that, to do it, it's important.
Exactly.
And does the place where you live influence your compositions?
Fine. Sometimes yes. When I came back from Barcelona from America, they say, "Oh, Brotons is absolutely an American composer," because we feel very much the American influence in his music. And I said, "Fine, it's possible because I love the spectacularity of the American music and all that. But believe me, I am 100% Catalan."
Of course. So in the opposite of Kazushi Ono could be, for example, Simon Halsley, who is another very important conductor, the conductor of the Orfeo Català. And he spends very little time in Barcelona. He only stays here 12 weeks a year, which is pretty standard, and is different from his predecessor, Joan Vila, who apparently was there for every single rehearsal. And Simon Halsley says that, okay, he's not here all the time, but he has been able to, give his contacts to the Orfeo, and so that the Orfeo is being directed by other conductors that are very interesting, and also to modernize his repertoire. So my question, I guess, would be, where is the balance for Salvador Brotons between presentiality, being present there, like interacting with the orchestra, and actually, playing with influences and other conductors?
But it's good for an orchestra to have changes. I mean, I don't like an orchestra to always conduct by the same conductor. Also, the orchestras, they love to have several different viewpoints. Of course, to get a sound of an orchestra, it's good to have a conductor that takes care of that regularly. But also, it's very good to have different viewpoints, different concerts that is done by different guest conductors that comes and give you new, fresh air, okay, fresh or different manners of working with the orchestra, and that's also very positive. But of course, you need to have a very deeply root there and work very intense when you are there working with the orchestra to achieve the sound that you want to achieve with the orchestra.
Yeah,
definitely.
Of course. Yes.
It is important.
Are you able to work from here with your orchestra in Vancouver?
Yes.
Is that possible nowadays? Of course, I guess, because thanks to technology, right? You can work from distance as well.
Fine, but with the coronavirus, I couldn't work because you need to rehearse with the orchestra. But in America, it's very important to have the contact with the composer, the conductor, with the audience. And I have been making a lot of Skype with them, and it's exciting to talk before the concert that they did there, because with other guest conductors. But I always, before starting the concert, they put my image, and I had to talk with the audience, say, okay, I'm looking forward to coming back, I miss you very much, etc., etc. They love these kind of things.
Yes, I guess. Well, now we've been talking about how much you have to travel. I imagine that the balance between personal life and professional life is quite difficult. And maybe this is one of the elements that has discouraged women to actually become conductors, because, traditionally we are taught to put family first. But also, for example, Alice Farnham, which is the conductor of the Loughborough Festival Opera, I just want to get that right, she is the opinion that the reason why up until now there were so few women conductors is because little girls, when they were studying, didn't see these figures of authority that were also female, and they didn't even like think of becoming conductors, and that's one of the reasons. But also we have then, in order to remedy this, we have Marina Alsop, which is the director of the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra and chief of the Vienna Radio Symphony Orchestra. She has created the Taki Concord Conducting Fellowship for young women in order to give them the opportunity to practice, to a safe environment where they can fail and you know, make mistakes and then get better. And finally, you know, the very well-known Alondra De La Parra. She is the conductor of the Greenland Orchestra in Australia. She says that because of these reasons, because up until now it was so difficult for women, she has a special place in her Orchestra de las Américas for women because, you know, in order to encourage them. So because you're also a teacher and you love this aspect of your work, I wanted to ask you, what is important to do for these young women to encourage them to break the glass ceiling?
Yeah.
Fine, now we are living a very good moment for the women conductors. In fact, I teach in SMUC, and I have 3 wonderful women conductors. They will become very, with a little luck, very good conductors. And fine, the life has changed a lot, and there is much more equality, fortunately. And women can have phenomenal conductors in the world right now. And I'm happy that this is happening. And shouldn't be any threat. I mean, if you are knowledge and you know you are secure what you are doing, it doesn't matter if you are a woman or we are a man. Or you are a man. It's the same thing. It's the relationship, establishing a good relationship with your musicians. Absolutely equal. Yeah, but I am happy that the world is changing finally.
Yeah, we are very happy too. And Maestro, since you brought your flute here today, a flute is your first instrument.
Yes.
You started to play it when you were a little boy. We can't finish this interview without ask you to play a little bit for us, whatever you want.
Okay, I will play some.
Because yeah, it would be a shame not to listen to you playing the flute.
Very good, very good. I'm happy because sometimes I miss to play my own instrument. Remember, I was principal flutist in the Barcelona Opera for 8 years when I was very young, and gave me a lot of great experience as a musician to see different conductors conducting, and I learned a lot over there. But I'm a little rough because I don't practice every day my flute, but let's see if I remember something. I'll play some from the Suite No. 2 by Johann Sebastian Bach, the Polonaise, the variation. Let's see.
Brilliant.
More or less. It's difficult to take the flute right away and play this way without
Sounds amazing. Is this a special flute?
It's a traverso flute. This is the flute of my father. They belonged to my father. When he died, it came to me, and it's a very good flute. It's an American flute. It's a power flute, fantastic flute. Yeah. But the flute is not as good as the flute right now, because the flute is not very much in good shape. Mm-hmm. But the flute is very good.
Sounds amazing, anyway.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we are getting to the end of the interview, but we are not quite finished yet. We've got a surprise question for Maestro Brotons. It's called the question chain. Okay. And it's a question from our last week's guest. In this case, it was the sculptor Eudal de Juana. Let's listen to hear him. Let's see what he has to say.
Hello, My name is Audal de Juana. I'm a sculptor, and I have a question for you. So, what are your strong points and what are your weak points?
My strong points, I would say a lot. I'm doing a lot of things, and I have a good memory. I love to conduct from memory, and I love to study a lot. And I do a lot of different things. I compose, I conduct. That may be the strong thing, and I love very much what I am doing. That's the most important thing. Weaknesses, a lot of weaknesses, I suppose. I don't see them, but there are several. But I will not tell you. Thank you.
Fair point. Right.
Thank you very much.
And Maestro Brotons, just before we go, we know that you are involved, as always, in so many projects. Are you working on anything specific at the moment? Any new project?
I am working with a mass for the piece that is going to be premiered next year, and also finally I got my fourth symphony to be premiered next year in the Palau de la Música with orchestra that I love very much, the one that conducts Thomas Grau. It's and just I talked with him yesterday and said, okay, next year you will be able to premiere. It's a big symphony in 7 movements, lasts 40 minutes, and includes a huge orchestra and also a chorus. I mean, it's a very ambitious piece that I've been working for 20 years.
Wow.
And finished, and it's going to be finally premiered next year. Looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, exactly. Good luck with that. And Maestro Brotons, Salvador Brotons, thank you so much for coming to the Weekly Mag. A pleasure, an honor. And thank you for coming here and share with us your music.
It has been a great pleasure to be with you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maestro. Thank you, Carlota. See you next time.
See you.
Thank you. See you.
Just take me to whatever this place is under your skin. I wanna see what's there. I just want you. I just want you. Just take me to whatever.
Today's artist was born and raised in Balaguer, although she's based in Barcelona. She released her first EP, When I Can't Speak But I Can Sing, last year, just before the pandemic hit. And despite everything, she hasn't stopped working and releasing her work. Let's talk about this and much more with Lonaïs Naida Castel. Lonaïs, welcome to the Weekly Mag. It's a pleasure. Thank you for coming. Okay, as we said, your first EP, When I Can't Speak But I Can Sing, was released last year. What feedback have you got? Are you pleased with the result?
Yeah, I'm very happy. I released it the 14th of February, and the pandemic started like a month after, so I only had 1 gig to enjoy like the crowd a little bit. But I've been happy, and yeah, I think I'm happy for this first release, even though the pandemic.
Let's talk about your beginnings. I know you started music when you were a little girl. Actually, you studied at the conservatory for many years. Then one day you decided to stop. You took a break, and then you came back, music came back to you.
Yeah.
And it's when you decided to start composing and singing. How did it happen? Tell us about this process.
Yeah, it was a kind of a calling. Like, I have to do this now because I've been wanting to do this all my life. But I thought, if you're not gonna be doing it or good enough, don't do it. So it was too important for me. And I felt, okay, maybe in another life you will do this.
Right.
And suddenly some things happened in my personal life that I had the urge of letting those things go. And this was like the mean to do it.
Okay. You also write lyrics, actually. One of the most important part of your music are the lyrics, which you write yourself. You write poetry. Since when have you been writing poetry?
So it was more or less the same time. I never thought I could write, not music or poetry. And I started. I needed to let all these things out. And some of the poems then turned into songs. And it was a way of letting things out, but also making other people think about things that I had like in mind, maybe like making people question themselves somehow.
other themes that are present in your work, apart from this one, or feminism, for example?
Yeah.
Feminism is a great topic for you. There is a feminist message in your songs, and feminism is all the rage at the moment,
Yeah.
right? You have a song. What's it called?
A Revolution.
Exactly, and it's about feminism.
Yeah, I released it last year. I think it was January, before the EP, and yeah, it was a very angry song for me. Like I made it in, I don't know, half an hour, because I got home after having some stuff happening in the street, and I just sang it, and I thought, okay, this is for me. It's gonna be like my song that I sing to my friends. And then I sang it once in a little gig in Xarxa, and suddenly people were super interested and feeling like, no, you have to release this, like, for sure. And then it became kind of very important song.
Yeah, because it has also a very powerful message behind. The lyrics are in English. Why have you chosen English rather than Catalan or Spanish?
I think most of the music I listen to is in English. Also movies, like all the culture I eat somehow, it's in English. So maybe it's that, and also for me it's easier to say some important things for me in another language that it's not mine. Maybe it's easier, less harsh in a way. And it's been also difficult for me to find a style that I want to do in my own language because of the how to make the sentences and the sound of the language. So yeah.
Apart from music, you design jewelry. You write poetry, which we mentioned before, and you're also a model. So many things,
Doing a
so
lot.
many different things, right?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot. Like things have been coming to my life, and I just have taken the chance, I guess. And with the jewelry, I studied, and then I finished, and I said, okay, I want to do something related to design, but not a mass thing, like plastic, whatever thing.
Okay.
So I was always attracted to jewelry, and because it's a thing you keep forever, and it has a lot of mystery and a message and feeling. So I've been doing that, and then modeling, and then music.
What kind of jewelry is it? Is it these rings?
Yeah,
is it your own design?
it's very organic,
Okay.
and I like to not have it super shiny, so it has a story behind, like my hand behind it, and yeah, it's this kind of.
Yeah, it looks great. Looks great. Where can we find it?
It's nccjewels.com. It's my my website.
Okay. Excellent. Also, the poetry that you mentioned before, it's all on your Instagram account, right? Which is?
Yeah, for now it's under hashtag Lenai's Fast Poetry, because it only started because I was writing things on my phone when I was walking around Barcelona or whatever, and there were thoughts that I wanted to post instantly. Like, it's the most Instagram thing, more instant that I've done, like posting these thoughts right away.
Okay.
And
we'll check it out.
Yeah.
What about other gigs this year?
So I'm starting the 23rd of May in Igualada, and then June peak. Also, I'm doing a gig for UK, Catalans UK, and streaming. And I think Girona will come after, so I'll be posting on my Instagram as well.
Excellent. Today you're going to play Hurts So Good. What is it about?
It's the last couple songs I released. They were called Unshaped Love, and Hurts So Good is one about love, like not finding the words to explain, like to be in love, and this kind of hurts good, but you know, it's not hurting badly, but it kind of feels very strong in your body.
Okay. Looking forward to listening to you, Naida Castel. Lenais, thank you so much for coming to the Weekly Mag. Good luck with everything.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
It hurts so good to love you. I'm sitting here, discovering you, trying to find the words for this song, but nothing says. so fucking young when you came through. We were so afraid then. We were so afraid. Just take me to whatever this place is under your skin. I wanna see what's in. I just want you. I just want your. Just take me to whatever this place is under your skin. I wanna see what's in. I just want you. Naked right next to me. At TV now or never. Tell me you feel it too. Tell me it's all over you. The gaze you give me, it kills me. It's all I can grab with my hands. I can see it, but it's here and next to you. I feel I'm see-through. I know you see me more than I do. Come hold me tight. It is everywhere. Nothing is better than this. Nothing I could swear. Just take me to whatever this place is under your skin. I wanna see what's in. I just want you. I just want you. Just take me to whatever this place is under your skin. I wanna see what's in. I just want you. Naked right next to me. Do you feel it as much as I do? It hurts so much, hurts so good. Love is loud, but your mouth is closed. Would they believe it if I tell them how good this hurts? Just take me to whatever this place is under your skin. I wanna see what's in. I just want you. I just want your. Just take me to whatever this place is under your skin. I wanna see what's in. I just want you. Naked right next to me.
And we're back and in the mood for a quiz, so we've called in our usual suspects, starting with our quizmaster, Sergi Cervera. Hello, Sergi.
Yes, hello, hi and welcome to Guess What, the TV quiz that makes sense of all that useless stuff that you have learned.
And I hope that's the case of today's guest contestant, Olga Camacho. Hello and welcome,
Hello.
Olga.
Welcome, thank you. Thank you to be here.
Olga Camacho is a Catalan comedian who performs in English all around Barcelona. She is also a photographer. You can find her work on Instagram. Olga, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm, as you said, a photographer. I also work as a community manager for a fashion brand. And when I heard there was a quiz where we could make fun of Matthew, I was like, sign me in.
And Olga's competitors are our contestants, Wendy and Dr. Murtha, which could be a story that you read to your kids before taking them to the dentist. But no, they're the great Wendy Kessler.
Hello.
And the fantastic Dr. Matthew Murtha.
Yeah.
Hi.
Good to be back here,
Ready
Sergi.
to be bullied?
Bring it on. Bring it on.
All right, guys, you need me to call you great and fantastic because you're still licking your wounds after being beaten by our guest last week. Exactly. But don't pity them, Olga. Just for you to get the hang of it, let's start with 1 point for every right answer. And today we have got a round of Wata! Did it scare you? Sorry about that.
A little bit, but getting used to it.
Exactly. Wata means, what are they talking about?
We'll see some very short videos with people describing things, and you have to write down on your blackboards what you think they are talking about, just 1 or 2 words.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's watch the first video.
An African animal.
It's an animal, and in The Lion King there are 3 of them. It's very popular for the sound.
Runs like...
Yes,
Right.
these people really exist, and they are happy to be part of our show. Fun imitations of an animal, but are they good imitations? Write your answers and get ready to show them to me in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Monkey, monkey, and hyena. Which means
that Matthew is right.
He's right. We can tell who's the doctor.
Is the answer indeed. Yeah, so 1 point for Matthew, right, Sergi?
Yeah, absolutely. Points go to Matthew. So many things I'd like to add, but we need to keep on moving.
So let's move on to the next video.
Here we go.
It's a color. For me, it's the absence of color.
And it's used for doing a lot of colors.
In the weddings, the woman used.
Here we go. A color this time. But which one? Well, I think that's pretty clear. But isn't it? Get ready to show it to me.
I have no idea what was going on in
2,
that.
1, show them to me. White, white, and
White,
white.
and white. And the right color is white indeed.
And the white color is white. There we go.
I have to say what because I did not understand.
That was weird,
Right.
wasn't it?
That was very what
Oh, weird.
Okay, well done, people. Now get ready for the third video. Here we go.
It's like a frisbee.
It's an instrument.
From Australia.
You can also throw it and it will come back.
All right, an instrument. Well, not everybody finds the right word, but anyway, it's for you to guess. So get ready in 3, 2, 1, show your answers. Boomerang. That's weird, but I understand it as a boomerang, and boomerang is
And this Australian object is, of course, a boomerang.
From my perspective, that could have been so many things, but point goes to...
Like what, Sergi? What does that look like to you?
Don't tempt me. There is a show I have to host.
Okay.
It reminds me of my childhood.
Let's move on, guys.
Okay, so you give them all a point?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, everybody
they deserve
gets
them
1
all.
point.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Olga's commitment to the right answer was pretty clear. 4 video.
Singer, music, dance, Super Bowl. Latin American.
Colombia, Barranquilla, ¿no?
Samina, waka, waka.
What are they talking about? Or who are they talking about? Okay.
Who are they talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Who are they
Wata.
talking about?
Many people know the answer, but do you? Show the blackboards. Shakira, Shakira, and Shakira, Shakira,
Okay.
Shakira. Point goes to everybody.
Excellent.
My hips don't lie.
There we go. Yeah, absolutely. Shakira was the right answer. Next video.
It's an emotion.
When you want something you haven't, but somebody have. It's one of the 7 sins.
Okay. So, what do you think that is? What emotion are they talking about? 3, 2, 1. Show it to me. Jealousy, envy, and envy.
Okay, and the correct answer is envy.
Envy.
So
Jealousy was
everybody-
quite there.
Yeah, I think it's a synonym, right?
Yeah, quite synonym. But to
could
make
be.
the show more exciting, let's punish Wendy.
Sergi has his favorites.
Well, I don't agree. I would
Sergi
have had
just
a point.
can't read big words. That's the real
Too long.
issue.
That's too
You
long.
need to make
Letters.
the maths, they are complicated. I trust you to be my favorite until the last part of the show, Wendy. I need you.
So?
So point goes to them.
To whom? Only
Olga
2?
and Matthew.
Right. Well, I tried. Sorry about that, Wendy.
She tried. She's nicer than I am. but we have a long show ahead, and the score is right now very exciting because we've got a 5, we've got a 4, and we've got a 3. All right, guys, everything is very exciting, and now get ready for a faster round in the speed challenge.
But as always, that will be after today's second short language tip. Please pay attention to our teacher, Mark Broderick.
Hi, so as you know, in the Weekly Mag, we have many people who are writers and people who join us who are writers. But if you're a writer at home, maybe you're missing some vocabulary of things that could be useful when it comes to writing something. And of course, when we talk about writing, we talk about stationery. Stationery is of course an uncountable noun which refers to everything you will need to write, from the paper, pens, pencils, etc. And of course, some other things that you may need would be, for example, a stapler. A stapler, of course, is this thing that's shaped like a mouth that literally perforates the paper, puts some holes in it, and put these little wire things that are called staples to hold the paper together. And of course, if you don't have a stapler, you might have to use a hole punch. A hole punch literally punches 2 holes into the piece of paper, and of course then after that, what do you need to do? You need to bind it together. In order to do that, you need a ring binder. And a ring binder, of course, as it suggests, use these little metal rings inside to hold all of the pieces together so that you can read the book in peace. Now, one of the second best inventions of the 20th century is, of course, sellotape. And sellotape is this sticky adhesive tape that you can use to stick things anywhere. And of course, what would be the first or the best invention of the 20th century? It is, of course, sticky notes, otherwise known as a commercial name, Post-its. With sticky notes, of course, you can just write little things on it like reminders and stick them everywhere so that you don't forget. So, have a look at this sticky note right here, and don't forget. Take care.
After that useful language tip, let's go back to our quiz and our speed challenge.
Yes, indeed, which is a true or false speed challenge. And today, as you know, the whole of the US is celebrating the National Nylon Stocking Day. Am I right, Matthew?
Absolutely.
A revolutionary invention that inspired me to come up with a true or false round about items of clothing which are, let's say, not as popular.
We're going to describe some items of clothing you could describe as strange or decidedly ugly. You will have to decide in 3 seconds if they are real garments or not by using the true or false signs.
You guys ready?
Always.
Always. You were born ready.
Always.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, let's go!
Okay, fish t-shirt covered in real fish scales.
True, true, and false, which means, Marcella?
Well, it's false. There are lots of them with fish scale patterns, but not with real scales.
Matthew got the points. Well done, sir.
Fish don't wear t-shirts.
Here we go.
This is new.
All right. Mud denim jacket. A jacket decorated as if it was covered in mud. Is it true or false? Wendy says true, Olga says true, and Matthew says true, which means point goes to all of you. Well done, it's absolutely true, although apparently it's been sold out.
Okay.
It's been sold out.
Yeah, I make mine at home.
You flip jackets at home?
I roll
Here we
in
go.
mine.
Let's keep on playing.
Okay, detachable jeans, a pair of women's trousers for girls, which can be converted into short denim pants.
Oh.
True, true, and?
I love detaching jeans from women.
And true.
And it's true. Everybody gets 1 point.
Unexpectedly, here we go. That's reality.
Very nice.
That's not
they
a
get
woman.
short shorts,
Yeah,
huh?
short.
Like short.
I was imagining it like down here, like those.
No,
you know.
no. If we go, we go.
Ah,
That's
yeah.
exactly how I imagined it.
All right, here we go. A men's wallet tie. A tie in which they can keep coins and banknotes. Is this true or false? False, true, and true, which means my beloved Wendy got the points.
Yes.
I knew it. I knew you would fail me.
I mean, it's true, they don't need more pockets. They already have so many
We have
pockets.
a lot of pockets.
We do. We do. That's the truth.
Okay, cowboy boot sandals. The upper part is a boot, the lower part is a sandal.
Is it true? Olga
Hope
says
it's false.
false, and Matthew says
I've
it's
seen these.
true.
I've
You've seen this, which
Okay,
means
Wendy and Matthew are correct.
you already seen them. Well done.
They exist and they actually are for sale. So if you want a pair, you
Mother
can
has a
buy
pair
it.
and they look lovely.
Okay, and you can tell her you got just a couple of points.
I will.
Exactly. Oversized jeans dress. A dress made up of incredibly oversized jeans. Like very oversized. True, true, and true. Which means point to all of you. Job well done. Here it comes. This is real.
Who's this poor model?
Yeah, I know. Doesn't she look excited to be
She
wearing
looks like
this
the
piece of
unhappiest person in the
whatever?
world.
Exactly. She feels like the most excited person in the world, indeed.
Tulle skirt jeans. A tulle skirt over your jeans, all in one combo.
I don't want it to
False,
be
true,
true.
and false. You don't want to be true, but...
Okay, and Olga is correct.
I've seen this.
We don't know why they've lowered the price. Right?
Okay, here we go. Big laced studded jacket. A black studded jacket with a big pink lace. Is it true or false? True,
Sounds
true, and
beautiful.
true. Which means you all are wrong. Thank God it's not true. It is absolutely false for now.
Yeah.
Okay, so would you wear any of these?
Oh, the last one. Sounds great. It's studded with huge pink lace.
Right.
I mean, I would wear a.
I want the detachable jeans.
I want the tie with the pockets. I just want pockets.
right?
Detachable jeans with boot and sandals.
Yeah, with the boot
What
sandals.
an outfit, man. What an outfit.
Very popular in the trailer
Right.
parks of the
You would
US.
use it as underwear and pants at the same time.
Don't I already?
All right, guys. Wendy's back. She's back. Matthew is leading with 15 points. Wendy's in a second position with 13 points. And Olga has a lot of work to do with 12
I
points.
know.
You are there, my friend.
No.
You are there. We count on you to beat him.
Okay.
Sorry, did I say that out loud? That out loud? Here we go. But things will keep getting, as you can expect, more difficult unless you are a history expert, because we're going to end our quiz with a betting multiple choice round about history. Did you expect that? Yes, because it's heady.
His story, right? My story.
History, not yours. This
On
is something no one cares
international-
about.
History, that's right. And to Olga, this is a special thing for Olga and our new viewers. Here's how it works. We're going to read out a clue about the question so you can bet how many of your points you want to risk. Then we'll read the question and give you 3 options.
Yes, absolutely. And just to make sure not to risk all your points in case you lose, not looking at anybody in particular. So let's begin with a question about the history of religion. Here we go. I just wanted to create a, praying
A
moment.
bit of a
praying
yes.
tension,
Yeah.
exactly. To bypass the papal bull forbidding Catholics from becoming Freemasons in Bavaria, the nobility founded the secret order of the Pug, a symbol of loyalty and truthworthiness. Here we have a pug dog in case it inspires you, okay? Now, how many points for this little body? How many points you want to bet?
What an adorable little mutant.
For this adorable little dog.
Am I allowed to bet all of Olga's points?
You cannot do that.
All right.
I mean, you can bet your 12 points if you want.
No, I have no idea about anything
Yeah, I
pugs
don't
or
know what he
popes.
just said. Like, I got like 2 words. No, but
I
2
think what he
points.
said is that the pug is a pope.
Yeah.
He wears a tiny little hat. All right, I'm going with 5 points.
No worries anyway, we're gonna give you 3 options. So worst case scenario, you only have to say A, B, or C. And
All right,
Yeah.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, 2 points, 1 point, and Matthew, 5 points. 2, 1, and 5. Okay, so listen carefully. This secret society that Sergi mentioned had an initiation rite, which involved novices kissing the backside of a porcelain pug while the already initiated barked at the novices.
And as a reminder, for 5 points, for 1 point, and for 2 points, Wendy 2, Olga 1, and Matthew 5, here is the question. What did the novices have to do to get into the initiation room? Option A, wear a dog collar and scratch the door. Option B, sit outside the door and yelp. And option C, you were going to do it, right?
Yeah.
And option C, go on all fours and go, whoa.
But we're sure this is happening?
This is happening.
Who do you think is president of the secret club?
I was for a while.
I mean, it does sound fun.
Yeah.
All right,
So, for 5, 1, and 2 points, write A, B, or C. It's not that complicated, guys.
Can't do all three.
1, 2, 3, show the answers. A, and C. Which means that Matthew and Olga got it right, and Wendy lost 2 points. Not that bad.
I'm okay.
You are okay. You are okay.
Okay, so do you guys own a dog?
I do.
You scratch the door, as they used to do?
Yeah, a lot of people ask me who's alpha, and the dog is absolutely.
All right, let's move forward.
But what about them? Do they have a dog?
I mean, I live with a dog, but it's from my roommates, but she's great. She's amazing.
It's like yours, right? But not in the obligation part.
No, she loves me more, but he still has to clean up after her, so it's a great situation.
That's the best, best deal ever.
No, I don't have one. I'm a dog person, but I don't know.
You have a son.
Not yet.
I like other people's dog.
I do like other people's dogs.
I don't like taking care of my dog.
I'm good.
All right, second question. Robert Liston, a brilliant Scottish doctor in the 19th century, was one of the fastest doctors, pay attention, at amputating limbs.
And
Just so you know.
That used to be a good thing, right?
That used to be a good thing. Well, we will see after the whole question. But he sadly went down in history for holding a unique record, the highest mortality rate ever in a single operation. Now, you guys can bet.
Sure.
You've got 20 points. You've got 12, 11, right?
13.
13? Yeah, okay. So Wendy's betting 5 points, Olga's betting 2 points, and Dr. Matthew Murtha is feeling the hype.
Yeah.
He's betting 5 points again. Right.
Okay, so in that unfortunate event, he had to quickly amputate a leg.
Like quickly.
Quickly, very quickly.
Very quickly. So he was too fast and oops, some people died. But the question is, yeah, we can make fun of it because 200 years have passed. I mean, it's time to move on.
Too soon, man.
Exactly, too soon, man. How many people died in a single operation? A, 2, B, 3, C, 4. What do you guys think?
Why has... How can 4 people die from... I want to say 4.
I laughed when I read that
I want to
question.
say it. All right, let's do it. It's a fun
I didn't know that information. I confess you, I laughed. I'm talking while you were writing. So
yeah, we're ready.
You got it? Wow, that was fast. Faster than the doctor. Okay, 3, 2, 1, show the answers. C, C, and A. Which means you all lost your limbs and your points. The right answer was B. 3 people died from that amputation. When working on the patient's leg, he accidentally cut off 2 of his assistant's fingers. Both died from an infection, and the third was a bystander who died from a heart attack.
That counts? The heart attack counts in the amputation?
I guess it does. Talk with the person.
Are you mad that he's running up the score?
Wait, that doesn't count.
Okay, fortunately, medicine made a lot of progress since then. So, Quizmaster, what is the score at the moment?
We'll see what is the score.
A great question, right?
It's a great question, but more importantly is how do you feel about this doctor? You, particularly you as a scientist and as a doctor.
Yeah, as a medical researcher, I am amazed and kind of, frankly, impressed.
Positively?
I'm impressed. But I would think that the person that would be fastest at amputations would be like a Japanese, right? Like a ninja.
Exactly, like a wata. Okay, after this very scientific answer, the score, also facts and science, is Matthew leading with 15 points. What the hell is going on today? Olga's following with 11 points. And my beloved Wendy has a lot of work to do because she's with 6 points right now.
Going backwards.
But
Don't you have to get to zero? Isn't the one with zero the winner?
You can ask Matthew. He's the expert on owing points.
Yeah.
All right, guys, get ready for the last question. Now you can bet all your points. A question about the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. Matthew could be at an advantage here, but we will see. You never stop surprising me.
Look alike.
Right? Right?
It's the American
you
in
know,
you, yeah?
everybody can become President of the United States after the 45th. Did I say that out loud? Okay, place your bets. Here we go. How many points you want to bet? 6. That's my Wendy. There you go. Olga? How about you? Okay, doctor,
going
you go
for-
first. Okay, you feel the hype. Whoa! Bet it all. 10 points. 10 points. She either
have no
win
idea.
or lose. She likes
And
winning.
5.
She's going for the win.
There we go.
Okay,
And
6, 10, and 5, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It turns out that during his life, Abraham Lincoln was more than a statesman and a lawyer.
And the question is, which one of the following occupations did Abraham Lincoln not have? A, violinist. B, bartender. C, wrestler. Woohoo!
Oh, that's
I can see
interesting.
It's a good
Well
question,
done.
isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, show your expertise in the subject, doctor. Okay, Wendy says C, wrestler. Olga says A, violinist. And Dr. Matthew Murtha affirms that it's B, bartender.
Oh, so this got interesting.
It's very interesting. So let's keep just a second of tension. All right, the second pass. The right answer is A. Well damn done, Olga.
Wait, I had A.
Well
That's-
damn done.
Because of the-
Violinist.
That's a A.
Lincoln was a licensed bartender who co-owned a tavern. Yeah, absolutely, but not just that. He really was an accomplished wrestler champion at the age of 21, but not a musician.
And he killed vampires also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With an axe.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, probably
So,
comes from
what's
there.
the most different job you ever had in your life?
I'll tell you, my favorite job was being a garbage man. I would go and collect the trash. It was amazing because people would throw things away and you could keep it if you wanted.
You still
guys-
kept that.
Yeah.
Philosophy.
It turned, I mean, like, they don't even pay me anymore, but I still go around and I pick up people's trash.
Okay, today at 6?
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Right,
How about
so
you
I
guys?
I took care of Matt's dog, and that was a job.
Oh,
paid you?
right, and
He
you
paid
tell
you?
that
Yeah.
at the end of the show? This is the
Yeah.
kind of information we like. We could call it garbage information.
Yeah, the house was filled with garbage, but the dog was great.
That's mocking you. That's mocking him. I like it.
My dog was really sad when I came home. The dog was like, "Where's Olga going?" I was like, "No, forget her."
Yeah, she calls me sometimes.
And Wendy, share anything with us?
I was a librarian for a year, which,
Okay.
knowing me, I like to talk a lot. It's really hard being a librarian. But I kept some skills from my time as a librarian. I can do this, look.
Okay, you're gonna need those skills right now. At the moment, I'm gonna say your final score.
But I
so
won,
try
right?
your skills because I'm gonna say that you got. Come on. No. Let her do the job.
I had to tell you to shut.
You got points. There you go. Well done. And Olga is leading with 21 points.
Yes.
We've got a winner, and Dr. Matthew Murtha went behind with 10 not even deserved points. Shame on you.
I deserve a couple of them.
Yeah, so Olga, well done, right? We
Well
need to
done.
congratulate Olga for the first time a winner.
you.
Excellent.
Yeah, won for everything and paid off. Paid off. I don't know.
You had
how.
fun? You had fun today?
Yeah, so much fun. So much fun.
Excellent. That was the idea, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you so much, Olga. Thank you, Matthew and
Welcome.
Wendy. Until next time, thank you, Sergi, as well.
Thank you.
Okay, and our show ends here today. Tune in next Saturday for another show, The Weekly Mag. Until then, you can find and watch any episode on our website. You can follow us online and you can try to solve the guess word. And this is the clue. A woman of noble birth in Amsterdam. That's 7 letters. We'll give you the solution on our next program. Thanks for watching. Keep up your English and have a great week. Bye-bye.